Many of us, myself included, thought that the discussion over AM radios had come to an end. I thought that everybody in DC decided, okay, yeah, it makes sense to keep AM radios in cars. Now I'm hearing that there might still be some efforts on the part of some manufacturers to do away with them. I think it's a vital component of our lives, living our lives safely, being connected. Troy Miller is the president and the CEO of NRB, National Religious Broadcasters. And number one, it's a wonderful organization, represents, my opinion, some of the finest radio stations and broadcasters that you would ever meet. But apparently it is still an issue about AM, and I'm happy to say Troy's joining us. Troy, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, Jeff, great to be with you guys today.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine. So smarten me up here. Is there still a debate now about from manufacturers saying, "Oh, we don't want to put AM radios in cars"?
Well, yeah, the manufacturers are kind of sort of coming back around on this and in that. But Jeff, it's not really about whether or not they want a radio in the car, because especially on their excuse that AM radio is going to interfere with the electric cars. The real question here is who's going to control the dashboard in the car? Is the dashboard in the car still going to receive free over-the-air radio and people can decide what they want to listen to, or is the dashboard going to be controlled by your car manufacturer who's going to make you subscribe to everything? So they're going to decide what apps you get and then how much those apps cost.
Pardon me for a second. Oh, well, that's outrageous and it's awful, but I can, look, you put yourselves inside their head, right? It's another revenue stream. Oh, my gosh, that's terrible, Troy. That is really just god-awful.
It is. It really is terrible. And it's terrible that they're using excuses, like interference in the car. Look, I came up through Navy engineering,
Right.
We're talking about just a small field to fix this. Even the Government Accountability Office said that you guys are crazy. It's $35 to the total cost of a car. That's nothing. Mm-hmm. But look, like I said, this is just a continuance of who's going to control access to what information. But
right.
Look, I think we had a lot of support in Congress, that we thought the bill was going to get through last year, but it's an election year. The legislators got busy. A lot of other things had priorities. They had a number of things to get through. But the fact that the bill has been reintroduced in both the Senate and the House, now there's a great bipartisan sign-on and co-sponsors between both parties. So this is an issue. This is really a bipartisan issue, and it has not only does it have to do with who's going to control the information in the car, but look, Congress itself in the Broadcast Reauthorization Act talked about the importance of free access, of public access to information. And AM radio is one of the largest sources of public access to information, especially, as you know, emergency information in time of disasters.
Absolutely. And let me remind everybody, Troy Miller is joining us, President and CEO of National Religious Broadcasters. And Troy, one of the things we saw certainly with the political agenda through a couple of years from big tech, which now seems to have shifted. But the shift one way or the other ought to be concerning for anybody on the other side of that shift. If you have car manufacturers who are tied in, just hypothetically, to Facebook, and everybody's sitting around going, yeah, we love this leftist stuff, those are the apps that are going to be available. And, it would boost products that really don't have a place in the market, but you don't have any choice. It's like the Soviet Union.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. That's a good way to put it. These sort of draconian things that they want to decide what's best for you. They want to decide what you should listen to, not listen to. Look, we also know that AM radio, is the number one source for conservative talk radio. It's one of the top sources for Christian talk radio, for Bible teaching, and it's also one of the top sources for Spanish radio. Right. And look, it'd be so easy for them to put this in the car and say, "Oh, it's about this," and then just silence all of that programming.
That's exactly right. And it is interesting, and you so rightly point out, there's an interesting connection here with conservative talk, to be sure, with religious talk, faith-based talk, Bible education, and Spanish language. And it's just, look, all right, politics makes strange bedfellows. This is a great combination, though. These are all great people. So tell us all, Troy, what do we need to do on this side?
Well, look, you should look up the bill. You can go to the congress.org and look up and see where your congressman and your senator is on this. If they haven't signed on to this bill yet, you need to call them up and say, hey, we want you to sign on to this bill. AM radio is important to us. It's important to our community. I grew up in the farming community in the Midwest. Yep. AM radio was vital to us. I go home today. AM radio is still vital to farmers and to rural folks across America. 80 million people, I think it's estimated, still listen to AM radio. So call up your congressman, drop them a note. You can do that on the internet today and say, hey, we support the AM bill. You should as well. And we'll get this through. We get enough sponsors and we can force the bill to be voted on in the House, and it's already going to pass the Senate.
Okay. Oh, great. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Obviously, we will share it on our airwaves, AM and FM, and then also across all of our new media, right? I mean, we always call it new media. You go, it's been around a while, but we'll put it on social media. Make sure that it is out there. And I got to tell you, just from the bottom of my heart, Troy, this radio station is not a, quote, religious station, but I sit here as a man of faith, and I truly appreciate everything that NRB does. The members, the member stations, the broadcasters who are part of it. You guys it's just a marvelous organization, and many of us who are not, quote, religious broadcasters are grateful for everything that you do. I hope you know that.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. And while we primarily our members are religious broadcasters, look, we fight very hard for the First Amendment rights, the freedom of speech, the freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, and the freedom of the press. You know, and so much, as you know, in the mainstream media today is so biased and mostly propaganda. It's stations like yours, though, that are getting the message out, getting the truth out to people across your communities. And so we're fighting hard for your rights to stay on the air and to have the best business operating environment you can to do that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we are grateful, and I'll tell you what. I think, do you guys do your conventions in D.C. or you do them all over the country?
We do them all over the country. This year, we're right outside of Dallas in Grapevine, Texas. We'll be there from the 22nd to the 23rd to the 27th down there in Grapevine. And it is, look, if you're interested in what's going on in broadcasting, as you said, new media, streaming, all of those today, we have all kinds of exhibitors there. We have panels going on. We have hands-on workshops. So if you're interested in getting into this medium, any of it, or just down there to meet some of your favorite radio personalities or that, NRB convention is the place to be.
It absolutely is. I sometimes feel like the best way for me to reconnect with old friends. I mean, I can chat with Todd Starnes and Eric Erickson on the phone all the time, but to actually see them in person again for the first time, many cases in years, is NRB. You're good people doing good work, and I appreciate it, Troy. Thank you. I hope you won't be a stranger. I'd love to have you back as this bill progresses, if that's all right.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. You can give us a call anytime, and we'll keep you updated on how it's moving forward.
All right. Thank you, my friend. God bless you. That is Troy Miller. He is the president, the CEO, National Religious Broadcasters.